I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And G are going for a drive. The all-new 2025 Mercedes G550.
And we are in France, so we are not launching it. We are on a highway driving more G-Wagons, but you guys have already seen those videos, so this is gonna be a G550 review, although the current one that we're driving says G500.
Yes, that's the European version of the exact same thing.
Yeah, so North America, we gotta have the 550 even though it's the same car.
And then other parts of the world get a diesel, which is like a 4 something, and we saw a cool silver one with like the coolest wheels. I actually really like that spec.
Yeah, so we're gonna focus this car on the road because I think that's where everyone's gonna drive this essentially base model G-Wagon, and the G63 is gonna be off-road, which you guys have already seen, and the electric one as well.
This is like the perfect highway cruiser. This has updates for daily driving that the last one did not have. Starting with adaptive cruise and lane centering, which is great. We also have the touch to open door handles, which you never had before. You always have to pull out your key.
Yeah, keyless go on a G-Wagon.
And then the last big thing is that now we have MBUX infotainment, where the old one was like the rotary dial one.
Right, but we still have a nice touchpad to control all that, and it kind of looks like the old Mercedes system.
Except you got a touchscreen.
Yeah, so this is kind of the best of Mercedes right now, I think.
And then another big thing that they updated in this compared to old ones, which we have actually found very useful on the highway, is the A-pillars and a little spoiler above the roof line, which makes it quieter while driving. They're like, you could have a conversation at 130 kilometers an hour, where you probably couldn't as easily because of wind noise in previous ones.
And it is 100% true. Like, it is actually really quiet in here. 130 is when you start to notice a little bit of wind noise, but cruising right now at 100, there's like nothing.
Yeah, this is great. Okay, so besides all the updates, what do you want to start with? The looks of this? Because
let's talk about this gold beauty that we're driving.
What a cool spec, what a cool color.
Yeah, so it's like a matte gold. It looks amazing. I'm okay with this color coming back, even if Toyota steals this and makes all their cars matte champagne.
Yeah, well, like, the older you get, the more you like champagne color cars, right?
And we are in France, so, you know, champagne central or whatever.
Yeah. all airplane while sleeping.
Yeah. So it does look slightly updated, and that's a good thing, because they didn't screw it up. They didn't make it look like a jelly bean. They made it look like just the new G-Wagon.
Yeah, it's like perfect style. We met the father of the G-Wagon.
Yeah.
This guy, Frederick.
Yeah, super nice guy.
Showed us cool old videos of how they used to test stuff. It was pretty jokes. But okay, back to this. The main difference with the looks is that now the grille has 4 slots that go horizontally instead of the old one, which had 3 that went horizontally. Except this is like blacked out, so it's not very visible.
Right. What a big difference. But then we got nice headlights. We have the LEDs around them, which look fantastic.
Yeah, that doesn't look very changed at all from the last one, but I don't expect it to. And then I guess other looks things with the A-pillar, you see like it's not one color. There's like a dark part, and I guess that's where some of the sound insulation or the sound aerodynamic stuff comes from.
Yep, and then looking down from our driver's passenger seats, we still have the corner markers, the lamps on the, they didn't change anything that they didn't need to.
Yeah, it looks good. It feels the same from the driving position, but it like drives much better.
Yes.
Okay, from the side, pretty much the exact same body lines. I cannot tell a difference.
Yeah.
But we did get to see a lot of other G-Wagons from the Heritage Collection that were brought up to the event, and there were a lot of cool ones.
Yeah, some of them were even on Continental tires. Shout out Continental.
The 4x4 squares, and then the 6x6, like.
Yeah, those are
the Maybach one with the Landau or whatever.
Landau, shout out Drake.
Landau, yeah. One day we'll drive those.
Yes, but what do you think about the wheels on this one?
Not a fan.
Me neither.
Like, it works for the spec.
Yes.
You know me, I don't like black wheels. I think the wheels on that silver diesel one, that whole spec was perfect.
Yes, although these wheels, I've seen them also on a different one, not black, and they looked much better as well.
Yeah, and what would be the Continental recommended tire if you got a brand new G-Wagon?
The Cross Contact LX25.
Ooh, that'd be nice and smooth, nice and quiet.
It would be.
And then at the back, did they really change anything? Can you really tell?
I think maybe the lights? The LEDs?
But it looks the same to me. I really can't tell without like taking a close look at it.
Which is good.
Yeah, I don't really need any serious changes.
No. And then we still have the spare tire on the back, so like it looks great. It looks like a G-Wagon.
Okay. The door handles, obviously, that's where you can do the touch to lock.
Yes.
And that's nice. We still have the perfectly loud thump. So let's slow-mo that. We still have these locks that, where's my lock button?
I think it's over.
Is it in the middle?
It was, I think.
Uh,
Oh, it's right on your door panel, right there.
ah.
Ah! Yes.
Okay, that is so satisfying. Imagine if you use this as a family car and you had a baby in here. You're like, all right, she's asleep. Let's start driving. Chunk, chunk!
That's okay. It's worth it.
Yeah.
And then the interior is actually really nice as well. Like, these seats are very, very comfortable. We do have some Mercedes manufacturer options in here, which is like the special kind of stuff that you can get in here now. I don't know if these quilted door panels are part of that, but I really enjoy looking at them.
I was in another one that had a light interior, and then it had a leather headliner instead of like this soft one. And then in the middle, it was the tan as well, and that really made the speaker up here pop.
Nice. And then we have these grab handles, which are like leather wrapped as well, so
I feel like they were bragging in the press release that they still have grab handles. I'm like, yeah.
Well, it's this one, Yuri. This is
that's
the one
they're talking about?
They're proud of this one.
Like where, I guess, yeah. Maybe that's like tricky to engineer with an airbag.
Maybe.
I don't know, maybe that's what
Good
they're
point.
bragging.
Yeah.
So then back to the updates of this infotainment. It's nice because it's the familiar one that we've been used to that came out like 7 years ago when we first reviewed the A-Class. So finally made it to the G-Wagon. And what's cool about it is that it's really simple. This one we have the simple steering wheel. It's not like the double layer crazy one, which I think the AMG G63 gets.
Right, because it has the controller for all the modes.
The drive modes, yeah.
Which we do have drive modes, but they're down here.
Yeah, that's when you drive.
Okay. We
Know your
didn't
role.
even get to the horsepower.
Oh, we forgot. It's because
No, I
we're
didn't
on a
forget.
highway.
It's because I'm driving later with the horsepower and torque.
Yeah, know your role and shut your mouth. Who says that? Which wrestler says that?
The Rock.
Yeah.
One reference right from Yuri's 90s, 80s past.
80s.
Yeah.
So the gauge cluster you can change by like clicking the home button, going through different screens and stuff, and it's refreshing how simple it is. I really enjoyed that. We've got our navigation going in the middle. We did get a little lost because of it.
That was in the other car. This car navigated correctly.
Yeah, but Google Maps still king. This does have wireless and wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
And if you use the built-in navigation, we have augmented reality where it shows the camera view and it tells you where to turn as well.
It's nice for Europe when like roundabouts.
Yes.
You're like, I actually don't know which one you're referring to.
Yeah.
And then this does have a really nice sound system, obviously, because it is a G-Class.
Yes,
How
it
you
is
say
the,
G-Class?
yes.
Geländewagen?
G-Class, which is in North America, just G-Wagon.
And what's cool, okay, another thing, I can see my light settings. You can actually drive around with your just DRLs on, just the circles.
Yeah.
Because a lot of cars are just like forcing you into like full headlights on while driving. And you're like, oh, but DRLs are like the coolest part.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
for the look of the car.
Yeah, at sunset.
Yes.
Or like parking up, rolling into a parking lot, I want my DRLs to look cool.
Yeah.
And this does have Hey Mercedes, and they said that this has 20 new G-Wagon specific things that you can say to it. So, Hey Mercedes.
How can I help?
Is the G-Wagon an SUV?
No results were found. What can I do for you?
Okay, well, in the promotional video I saw, it had a snarky response. So, whatever.
Yeah. It's MBUX. It does all the kind of same stuff that it always did.
And then in America, in Canada, this will have SiriusXM with Tune Mix.
Oh, yeah.
Which is one of the best features of all time for music.
And then we're using like some online radio in here, and it's been working pretty well in here in Europe.
Okay, let's pick a song. And we're like, what's a song? We'll request it.
Well, it's currently playing Coldplay, The Scientist. I'm not exactly a Coldplay
pick a
fan.
song you like. Hold on.
I got it.
Play Higher by Creed. Yeah, feeling it.
There, it worked.
Heck yeah, MBUX. Heck yeah. Can you take me higher?
We're moving on from MBUX. We do have memory seats in here.
What would you like to do?
We do have memory seats in here, which is really nice, and then they're always adjustable on the door panels, just like they are on our Mercedes, and then we also have heated and cooled.
And to my surprise, even though I see no massage button, we do have a massage, so I've got heated seats and a massage going right now, while my adaptive cruise is like absolutely crushing it, barely asking me to put my hands back on the wheel. Like, this is everything I wanted in the previous gen.
Yep.
Now realized, but I can't afford it.
It's like a normal SUV that
Yeah.
just happens to be a G-Wagon and very capable.
It feels like the previous GLE niceness
Yeah,
with the G-Wagon looks, which is all I've ever wanted.
exactly.
All right, it is your turn to drive. I'm gonna see where I can pull off this
Motorway?
French freeway with speed cameras and everything.
Yeah, also French people with your speed cameras, what the heck?
This is pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
And I'm scared of driving here, and I just want to be a cliche corner.
Yeah, but also thank you for actually having like 130 speed limits and stuff like that, but then it goes down into like 70s and 60s.
Yeah, it's like
and the car's
130 when
beeping at
dry,
us.
110 when it's wet, but like what counts for wet?
Yeah, like it's currently raining a little bit, but I see that the road's dry, so does that count as wet?
Does the car know? Is it satellites? Is it cameras?
What if we got pulled over, had to go to court? Did we have to take a picture of the road conditions to verify if it's wet or not?
I'm so confused.
Without launch control. Oh. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. All right, this is pretty sick. Didn't expect that.
And very smooth.
Yeah.
Horsepower and torque.
443 horsepower and 413 pound-feet of torque from a 3-liter inline-6 turbo with a 48-volt mild hybrid. It is no longer a V8.
I feel like it's fine though.
It is.
This is nice and smooth.
And I'm gonna justify that through several ways. The type of buyer, in my opinion, that buys a base model, entry-level G-Wagon, doesn't really care what it's powered by. They just want the look of the fashion truck, which is fine. But this thing is actually really nice. This powertrain is really, really good. If I was to floor it right now on this motorway, as long as I don't go over 110 when wet, plenty of torque, and even the sound is actually pretty decent.
And with the 48-volt mild hybrid, like, it doesn't feel intrusive or weird in any way so far that we've noticed.
No, not at all. Everything power-wise is very like linear. Everything brake pedal-wise is also very normal, which is good. As soon as you start introducing hybrids, things get a little weird or can get weird, but the engine's actually really, really smooth. So it's an inline 6, and like all inline 6, it's great. It has that like, V6s never have the smoothness that inline 6s always do. So you really notice that, and then the torque, and you can even feel and hear some of the turbo spool, which is really welcome in this car. And then it also kind of does sound like a V8, kind of. Like if I was to floor it and didn't really think about that
Yeah.
big deep bass is there.
I feel like 'cause all their stuff for a while kind of sounded like not the craziest, and,
Yes.
like muted, so it's like kind of all suits itself.
And then we have a 9-speed auto in here, and it's a regular torque converter auto, but it's been downshifting great for me. If I use the paddles, like I do notice like a little bit of kind of just like aggression in that first downshift, and then it smooths out everything after that. And then there's also a hard button to put it into manual mode for the shifting, so that's pretty cool. Like it's not the fastest, but obviously it's not going to be for shifting.
Okay, so if this is not the fastest, did we say this is the fastest when we drove the G63 and the electric G-Wagon?
This is the fastest?
No, you said, you know how we always say it's not the fastest?
Yes.
Then will we have said this is the fastest in those other reviews?
I mean, the electric one will shift the fastest,
We haven't driven it yet.
but it will shift the fastest because it doesn't shift.
Well, technically it has transmissions.
Yes, but only for low-range gearing, so you don't shift into low range, because we also have low range here. Mercedes did not get rid of the 3 hard buttons for locking the center, front, and rear differentials, so you can still off-road the heck out of this thing.
It's still very old school.
Exactly, in the best way possible.
And then even though this isn't a V8 anymore, like one of those cool ones that we saw from the Heritage was like an inline 5 or something.
Yep.
So like I guess that's Heritage.
Right, and in Europe, like, you know, they've had different powertrains than we've had in North America all along with all the diesels and everything too.
So we should probably
Take a listen to the outside. And now moving on to the suspension. It is adaptive dampers, which is awesome, and there is a slight difference between all the drive modes because they do actually
bouncy
change.
right now.
Because we're in sport.
Because I gotta drive it in sport mode.
Well, because I wanted the engine and I haven't customized individual yet. So putting into comfort does make a difference, and it is really smooth. And even when I was driving earlier in sport mode, just going over like, let's just say this highway divider thing, super smooth. Like it's,
Expansion crack.
yes.
Joint.
And it's really nice on the highway, which is a big improvement over previous G-Wagons. Like, they made this thing a lot more livable overall with the between the powertrain and all the interior improvements and stuff
And
like
the
that.
pillar and the arrow and
Yeah.
the wind. Like it is so quiet in here, which is weird.
Exactly, in, again, the best way possible. Now, one thing that kind of sucks, at least for me, at my height, sitting in the back seat, I do fit, but we do have screens back there, and with this front seat positioned at my height, 6'1.5", the screen is like in my face.
Yeah, it's not set up for like a double tall person setup.
Yeah.
And I use those screens. I was like trying to play games on there because there's some games, and it's just like a weird like shooting a puck game or like a quiz game, and it's like, man, I just want a DVD player and like just some like random DVDs. Like
Yeah.
if every G-Wagon came with like a season of The Office and a DVD player, I think people would be pretty happy.
Yeah, or even like a Fire Stick thing, like I think, what is it, Jeep is doing or whatever.
Yeah, but then you're still got to like set things up and connect to the internet.
Yeah.
Like just DVDs, man. I'm telling you, that's the future.
Blu-rays.
Cassette player.
Yeah.
So after the back seats, I think the most important thing is, do we have a cool material on the floor in the trunk?
Oh, we do. I don't even know if that's like in all the G-Wagons.
It's probably manufactured.
Because that is like, to me, that's like a classic Chevy C10
Yeah.
restoration thing back there, which I did not expect. It's the coolest thing.
It looks nice. And then as for trunk room, I was looking at our old G-Wagon review, and we had the box test, RIP. We couldn't check in our boxes to France, but I think it fit 12.
Wow.
So we're gonna play that clip of the box test, and maybe we're gonna Photoshop new names over it. And then more cool things that you probably didn't pay attention to because you're just too busy with the suspension and the engine. Now G-Wagons have heated and cooled cup holders.
That's the next thing I was going to talk about.
Boom,
Obviously.
boom.
Yeah.
And it fits a water bottle of
With the weirdest cap.
Yo, check this out. You pop it and
And then you
flips
go like
back.
that. Yeah.
Wild.
European caps. Pop it back. Done.
When's North America getting this? Like 10 years?
15 at least.
But yo, all the materials in here, it's like so leathery, so nice. Like nothing is cheap.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
And like certain Mercedes, like, C300 and stuff, you got like creaky plastic panels that you can move around. Here, everything is solid.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed any cheapness like whatsoever.
They
in
probably
this.
make sure this doesn't creak ever.
Yeah, because like this thing is meant to be taken off-road. Could you imagine just creaking nonstop?
Okay, with off-roading, we have this off-road cockpit button which shows up all your off-road stuff right away, which is great. A great shortcut button, especially for an off-road vehicle.
Yep.
And then we got 360 cameras and all that stuff, which are super high quality. We can spin around. And then now we have clear bonnet view.
Yes.
Or clear hood, whatever it's called.
Transparent hood view.
Transparent hood view.
Which is basically just what Land Rover and everyone's had for a while now.
Yeah, but it's like more focused on the hood and the view. Like it's pretty cool, I think, for off-roading. That'd be nice.
Yeah, for sure. Because
Right.
sometimes you just want to know where the rocks are.
You don't have to off-road this. Don't feel like you need to. This is a lifestyle truck, a fashion truck. And this is a truck because it's ladder frame construction.
That's right.
So we can say whatever we want.
Truck, car, SUV, whatever. G-Wagon,
Whatever.
G-Wagon with an E.
Geländewagen.
Yes. And then this elbow rest has been really nice and soft. It also does open just like other Mercedes, split down the middle, which is really nice. And then we do have a wireless charger down there, which has been working.
And then back to the infotainment, we have a trackpad with hard button stuff to use things to get the shortcuts, which is nice. This is like sweet spot.
It is.
Except if it had the road radar, it'd be more sweet spot, but only I think the AMG GT for like 1 year allowed you in Europe to either have the trackpad or the touchpad. And
Yeah.
it's nice. It's good. We got USB-C connectivity everywhere, which is cool.
And saving the best for last, Erie, the visor test.
We are in Europe, and the wordings are different than
Yeah.
America. 3, 2, 1.
No,
Nah,
but
it's pretty
the
big.
North American one may pass.
Yeah, we'll have to check. And even though it's a G-Wagon rugged, it is still super cool on the inside with a ton of different ambient light settings. And since it's old school, you're gonna get your red moon or blue moon or.
It's a hybrid of both. So
Yeah.
it has some of the new ones and some of the old
But
ones.
it's not gonna be as extreme as like an EQ
Right.
interior lighting, which is like the best interior lighting I've ever seen, and my favorite interior lighting of any car.
Impressive. All right, Yuri, I think that's it with this all-new G-Wagon. Let's get to the price.
Ooh, towing?
I don't have it.
Wow,
It's on screen right
got you again.
now. Maybe European towing's
Yo,
different,
put on
Yuri.
your reverse camera and they have the weird European tow hook.
I'll have to look at the
You know why
sticker.
Europe is cool? Because they give towing for stuff that they don't in North America.
Yes, and we don't actually have a price, by the way, because this is going to be announced later, closer to the date that it's available, which is the second half of this year.
Yes, and I think the 2019 G550 that we drove was like 160 Canadian.
It's like 150 something.
150, and then the G63 at the time was 33K more, which was like 190 Canadian.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that this is a PT Cruiser
What?
in France.
Wow.
It's rare, bro.
I know.
I don't even. That's actually cool here.
It probably is.
I'm going to assume that the G500/550 is going to be the cost of what a G63 was in 2019. So it's going to start at like 180-ish.
Wow.
That's my guess.
Bold prediction.
How about you?
I don't have a guess, Yuri.
What would you tell people to do if they wanted to find out?
Go to tsp.truecar.com for discounted price offers.
Would you get a used one, an older one, now that you've driven the new one and you have all the luxuries here, or would you just go for the new one? Because at first I'm like, yeah, I think I'd be fine with an old one, but like, these little things they did, the adaptive cruise, the door lock stuff, the lack of noise from the wind and the comfort.
I'd just get an older G63 for the same price that you could probably get a new one of these.
I would be very happy with this. For like daily driving and traffic, this would be unreal.
It is great. It's much improved.
Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I hope you like our other G-Wagon videos, and we'll see you in the next country. Guess which country we're going to next?
Ooh, where in the world is
not
Carmen
America.
San Diego,
Yeah,
aka Jacob and Yuri?
We saw Carmen San Diego at the airport.
Yeah.